Hey guys, Rob Skiba here. It's about 5 minutes to 5 p.m. January 18th. I am shooting a video of my shadow as it is being cast by the sun setting behind me. Now today's one of those days where the moon is up at the same time as the sun. I want to point something out to you. There's the moon, and we're told that the moon reflects the light of the sun. Well, if that's the case, I'm going to angle my iPhone here to the direction of the shadow. Okay, so the shadow is perpendicular to the angle that my phone is right now. See, it's about a half moon, and so you would think if the moon is reflecting the light of the sun, then the source of the light that would cast that type of shadow should be directly across from it, somewhere up here in this direction, right? Directly parallel to the light source. Should be right across from it, right? But it's not. The sun's way down here. So how is the sun way down here getting that angle of a shadow on the moon? Why isn't it doing the same thing to the moon that it's doing to me? Casting an appropriate shadow from the appropriate angle. Okay, now it's about 5:45 p.m. or so, about an hour later from the last video that I shot. See the moon going, see the sun going down in the west over there, and go this way and up, and there's the moon with the shadow angled this way. So you would think that if the moon is reflecting the light of the sun, that the sun should be shining this way. Problem is, the sun is now way down here. Look at the terminator line of the shadow. You would think the light should be coming directly across from it, but it's not. It's way down there. The angle is totally wrong for that shadow.
Hello, my name is Jerry Rogers, and I'm a little podunk town south of here or north of here called Shallowater, and we're going to do a moonlight test. And the moonlight currently in the shade, I'm going to get a recording of somewhere around 40 degrees. And then we go over here to the moonlight full on, and we've got 32.5, 33, somewhere right in that area. And you can go right back over here around to 40.
Now, would that be because we're looking at incandescent light coming down right here, or could
if you want to go over there, I don't care.
So it's the same either way.
It's either way. Apparently the moon don't seem to matter.
Okay.
Just
so
as long as you can get the
there's
moonlight
a shadow like right here,
and the shade of the moon.
So that's the shade. In the shade, it's 39 degrees.
And then you go to the moonlight, and you got 32.
32.
Wow. Or 33, 32, 33.
Is it more dramatic when it gets darker?
It seems to be more dramatic when the moon is fullest.
So the moon, like a full moon,
Like the fullest
and a completely
moon,
dark
I'm getting
night.
Sometimes 12 degrees.
12 degrees. So
Yeah.
the more full the moon is, the cooler it is?
It seems to be.
It's a half moon right now.
Don't ask me why, because I don't know. But I know it works every time I've tried it, everywhere I've tried it. Don't matter if I'm at the ranch or at Shallowater or Went over to my 85-year-old uncle's house and did it in his front yard, and he made me go buy him one.
Okay, so it's a nice sunny day here in Dallas, Texas. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. A couple days ago I got this pretty cool gizmo in the mail. I ordered this Centec infrared thermometer. Basically you just pull the trigger and point it at something and it will tell you the temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, switch it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, pull the trigger and test the sunlight in the parking lot here. And it looks like it's 48.5. So now that's in direct sunlight. I'm going to go over here to the shadow of this bush and try it again. And 28.4. So it's about 20 degrees colder here in the shade of this bush than it is in the direct sunlight. I'm going to give this another test next time it's a full moon. I'm not sure when the next full moon is, but I've been told that it's pretty much the direct opposite when you measure shadows of moonlight and direct moonlight. So we shall see. He gives, at least in his time, documented, annotated, footnoted accounts of people seeing the blood red moon lunar eclipse taking place while the sun was still up. Well, I mean, the model that we're all told is the only way that works is if the Earth is here and the sun is here and the moon is here in the cone-shaped, umbra shadow of the Earth. That's the only way you get the blood moon, is over here. But yet, if the moon's turning into an eclipse and the sun's still up and you're on the Earth and you can see both, something else must be causing the eclipse. So, and then when I looked at that, I saw that many ancient cultures believed that there were other dark orbs or dark objects or, invisible objects that were also part of our system. And the Hindu version of it was particularly interesting to me. Rahu and Ketu were the two entities that they named as the ones that basically were responsible for, they were decapitated heads. Interesting, I used that earlier, that would try to swallow up the moon. But because it's a decapitated head, when this spherical moon object came up on the moon, that's the illusion that we see of it turning red, and the moon just kind of goes out the neck of the decapitated head. That's, this is, the mythology develops because the people had a certain mindset and they were trying to explain things. This shows that the Hindus had the same mindset of an enclosed world within which the sun and moon were inside a dome, and they were trying to understand, well, what is that thing covering up the moon? And what is that covering up the sun? And I still think the moon is responsible for the solar eclipse, the moon coming in conjunction with the sun. But as far as the lunar eclipse, it can't be the way we're told in modern science if it's happening while the sun is still up. So I tend to believe, I mean, hey, why not? In heliocentric, spinning globe, monkey man science, they're all talking about dark matter anyway. So dark matter is like the buzzword phrase these days, and you got others talking about Nibiru and Planet X as a dark planet, supposedly going through our solar system. So why not? If you can embrace that in the spinning heliocentric globe model, why can't you accept it in the possible, enclosed world model? Like I said, I'm a zetetic agnostic right now. I'm looking at all the possibilities, looking at the available evidence, and trying to weigh it with reality and see what makes the most sense. Today is Monday, September 28th, about 7:15, and you can see that's about the time the sun sets around here, about 7:15 or so. Sun's setting out there in the west. Let's go ahead and punch up my compass app, and let's see here. There's the sun going down in the west. The moon came up in the east, just up above that little covered stairwell over there, and it was right about there at roughly 9:11 p.m. Central Standard Time. And the direction we are looking there is about 100 degrees or so. Let's see. Yeah, about 100 degrees east. It's where the moon popped up. The only problem is the sun had just set about an hour and 45 minutes earlier right behind us, and yet the shadow was coming from this direction, which is north. How did the shadow from the earth being cast by the sun, which set in the west, end up coming from the north? It is now 8:15, Monday, September 28th. So about an hour ago, the sun went down right over there, and directly behind me now, the moon is popping up. Like I said, just kind of right above the covered stairwell over there. Yesterday was actually a little bit further to the right. So there's the moon about an hour later. 2 hours later, last night, it was higher than it is right now, of course, and the shadow was coming from the north, which is where the building is right there to the left. Sun went down in the west right behind us. Shadow of the earth came from the north. We are looking at the compass pointing north. That is north. Here's the buildings. There's the moon. That's west. That's north. That's east. The shadow, allegedly, of the earth appeared on the left side of the moon, which is the side facing north. So if the sun went down behind us in the west, you would think the shadow would have been on the bottom of the moon instead of the left side of the moon.